Hey Central, I hope that you've enjoyed the last 20 days. This is day 21 of our 555, 5 minutes of worship, 5 minutes in the Word, and 5 minutes of prayer. And really, I hope that in some way this really enriched your life to the point of it's become a habit in your life that every day you wake up, that you spend this quality time with the Lord and realizing that, boy, I want to do more of this. That's my heart, is that in some way that you have this insatiable hunger to continue this journey with God throughout the year. This isn't just something that we're just going to do for 21 days, but it's something that we're going to continue on to do in our life. And I hope that in some way this sparked that part of your life. Now, I want to read something to you from the book of Isaiah in the Old Testament. And I love this because you hear the same kind of language in the New Testament, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But Isaiah said, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past." Now, sometimes that's easier said than done. He says forget, right? And that word forget there is like, hey, don't be reminded of your yesterdays, which is really difficult for us because it seems like people bring up our yesterdays, or our mind brings up our yesterdays, or the bad decisions that we make are yesterdays, and it's hard to forget those things. But he says, do not dwell on the past. So in forgetting our yesterdays, what we have to do, Isaiah is saying, listen, okay, forget the past, but listen, here's the key to that. Don't dwell on it. Don't focus in on it. Let's focus in on what God is doing. And he says, see that I'm doing a new thing in your life. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? He's asking the question, don't you see what God is doing? And I hope in the last 21 days of your prayer time, your worship time, and your word time, that you're perceiving some things of what God wants to do in your heart and in your life. And then he says this, I love this, I am making a way in the wilderness. Have you ever heard someone say, man, I'm having a wilderness experience? It's really alone. You're being alone. You're struggling with yourself. You're struggling with your thoughts, with your life, with the things that are ahead of you. But he's saying God is actually going to make a way in your wilderness. And he's going to bring streams of living water in your wasteland. This is what God wants to do in your life for this year. Paul says that similarly to a certain degree. He says that as well. He says, forget the past, put your past aside. And so Paul references this same thing in the New Testament. God is making a way where there seems to be no way for your life. And I pray that the last 21 days that you understand that even though you may be in a wilderness right now, even though you may feel like you're in a wasteland, that there's provision in those places when we focus on Him, seeking Him first. Again, I hope that the last 21 days has enriched your life and brought life to it and something that will create a habit that will last not just the last 21 days, but it'll last throughout 2025. God bless you guys. I love you so much. Thanks for tuning in over the last 21 days. Grace and peace.